Uh,
All right, fellas.
yeah,
First
yeah.
of all, the villainy of this show, boy,
You heard?
I mean, this is some like Zeus and God of War wasn't even this bad. Like he was wilding, killing Kratos' family and whatnot, but wasn't this bad.
We
But
ain't as bad as Odin.
oh no, we not
Okay,
that.
all right.
Odin was tripping. He was tripping. Like, bro, you killed your son, he killed his son.
He ain't kill his granddaughter. He smacked her halfway across the map, though.
Smacked her halfway across the map. Crazy.
Listen, bro.
Tried to
what's the
corrupt the
crazy-
child.
Craziest data we got, right, for this show. And this is crazy. The craziest data we got. We've been doing this show almost 3 years. And I have told y'all a new story every pre-production show. That is a crazy statistic. That's one of the statistics you'd be like, dang, bro, Luka hit 12 threes last
He
night,
not
bro.
lying. Bro, I'm about to Photoshop a picture of Chris with the Will Chamberlain paper.
Hey, yo!
Boy, I swear to God, that student service counselor in East Lansing, they know this man by first name. I know they've stressed they from 27. What is it? 2015 to 2017. Boy, if Chris ever ran into somebody who did social work up there, boy, if they first name was Chris, they ain't even got to be the right Chris. It just, hey, my name is Christopher Johnson. Chris? Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
Fellas, we got a great show to get into today. The playoffs are going on. You know what I mean? The NBA season is in full force, full effect. We have a ton to talk about in terms of, John Wall and his nonsense, and we got wrestling and Vince McMahon and all that good stuff. But before we get into all that, we got to get into our Would You Rather. Now, fellas, I'm going to say this. For the Would You Rather this week, I'm proposing this to you, all right? You gotta go in the mall, and the longer you stay in this mall, the more money you get. And the more animals you choose, the more money you get. It multiplies by 2 for every hour. It multiplies by 10 for every animal. Starts off at 100 racks for an hour with any random animal that you could think of.
So like, if it start off at 100, if I pick one and I do an hour, that's 100 racks. But if it's
That's
three,
100
if it's 3 animals for 1 hour, that's 300.
No. It multiplies by 10. So it goes up to a million, 10 million. It would be 10 million if you did 3 animals.
For 1 hour?
Yeah, 10 million for an hour.
Okay.
10 million for an hour. So how many animals would you pick, and how long would you stay in there? By the way, I have a random animal generator pulled up. So I'm going to tell you your 3 animals, and we going to figure out whether or not you would survive that hour.
I'm going to go for an hour, 100 meal, give me 4 animals.
4 animals. All right,
Yep.
Let's see it. And here we go. Your first animal is...
It's 4 different animals?
Yep.
Oh.
4 different.
Okay.
Your first animal is a lion. You would be in there with a lion. Great.
Okay.
First animal. All right, let's spin again. Spin again. We got 1 lion. We got... Oh, wow. A parrot. A parrot.
All
Okay,
right,
so
bet.
You got a lion and a parrot. Good job so far. You might still get put in the pack, honestly.
I got a plan.
2 lions and a parrot. And for your fourth and final, we're looking at a black mamba. So you're looking at 1 black mamba, a parrot, and 2 lions.
That messed up my whole plan because I
You're
was
not lasting an hour, my brother.
I was hoping to get animals. If it was like, let's say 3 lions and a parrot, if we got access to the whole mall, I was gonna try to find the most like ducked off, closed off area, try to hide in some crevice, squeeze into some vent, something or like that where they not gonna have access to me. But if it's a snake involved, that mess up my whole plan.
Well, and here's the other part. You don't know where these animals are in the mall. So, like, while you're looking for that random, like, ducked off spot, that lion could just jump out and be like, ha. Hey there, my brother in Christ. This is a fun meeting you here. Yeah, Zeph, I think you're in the pack. I don't think you living to collect that bread. I don't think you can live in the
I
collection.
think it's a possible chance with them 2 lions and a parrot. I could figure it out. With the snake involved, I'm cooked because there's literally nowhere I can hide.
Okay. All right. Chris, how much money would you go for? How many hours and how many animals?
I would do probably 6, just so my mama and nobody else after me for the next 100 years got to work again.
Chris, what? If you don't make it out, you not getting the bread.
So that means he going 6 hours. That's what, 10 bill, right?
Hold on. You're going 6 hours or with 6 animals?
6 hours. Well, no, 6 animals.
Oh, 6
4
animals,
hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
6 animals, 4 hours. So yeah, you're looking at 100,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million, a billion.
10 bill.
10 billion. Yeah, that's 10 billion.
For 1
All
hour.
right, let's check out your 6 animals. Do. And Chris has.
I'm a lucky guy, man.
This man said 6. Ew.
That's wild.
Okay, the first one is a panda, so you'll be all right there. You got 1 panda. Although pandas are much more violent than people believe.
Bro, panda, if you had to pick a bear to scrap, panda's probably in last.
You got a grizzly bear as well. Yeah, Chris, you finna get put in a pack, bro.
I would scrap a grizzly before a panda.
You finna get put in a pack. Oh my God. Another grizzly. 2 grizzlies. Ooh, this is disgusting.
You gotta call mystical.
No, bro, do not help that bear. Leave that bear alone. You got an elephant, so that's the first good one you got in there. I mean, as long as it's not in that. What's that thing where like the male ones start dripping that stuff on the side of their face?
I forget the name of it, but besides that, elephants are mad peaceful.
All right, so you got 4 so far. You only got 2 left. Chimpanzee. Ugh, chimps are nasty, bro.
Bro,
Chimps are
honestly,
nasty.
I might take my chances with a bear before a chimp.
Hey, Chris, you're not making it out. You not. I'm just letting you know.
I'm taking my chances with a bear before a chimp, bro.
Listen, bro.
Okay,
Listen.
the last animal is a giraffe. So you got 2 grizzlies, a panda, a chimp, a giraffe, and what was the 5th one?
It was a panda, 2 grizzlies, a giraffe, elephant, and a chimp.
Oh, a chimp. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, Chris, you getting put in the pack, bro.
No.
You getting put-
So this works into my thing, man. If I killed a giraffe, right, and I wouldn't harm it.
You want the giraffe on your side.
No, if I kill a giraffe, that delays the grizzlies enough time or they have to eat the giraffe, right? That's
Chris, you think you can kill it?
Giraffe.
You think you can kill a giraffe with your
Bro,
bare hands?
pandas don't eat meat, do they?
It's enough stuff in the mall.
No,
where you can
pandas
kill
only
it.
eat bamboo. I believe.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, though.
pandas don't eat meat, so you cook right
It's
there.
It's enough. No, I said the grizzly bears. The grizzly bears eat the giraffe, right? And it's enough stuff in the mall to kill the giraffe. Think about it. If you go to most malls, they got a sport goods store. I get an ice skate and just kill the giraffe.
Chris,
Something like that.
giraffes.
This boy
eat
thinking
lions.
can snap.
Hey, yo, y'all gotta stop. Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on.
man, that was like a decade ago.
Hold on.
Hey, that's some
Hold on,
nasty
hold
word.
on.
That's some
Hold on.
nasty word.
Hold on.
That's some nasty word.
Hold on.
Why this man Chris lead the screen? Chris, come back. Chris, turn your video back on, bro. Turn your video back on.
Hold
Turn
on.
your video back on, bro. Turn your video back on.
Hold on.
Wow. This man said, Chris, here's the thing. I thought that Josh was bad. Chris, you really getting put in the pack, bro. You're really getting put in the pack.
Listen. Like I said, I kill that, right? And then the next thing I'll do, right, is while the grizzly bear is doing that, I just gotta worry about the panda and the chimp, right? Now the chimp is the hardest part because the panda, I could theoretically do like Guyton said, fit in between something real small, and then the panda couldn't get to me, right? And yeah, I don't know where they at, but pandas walk so heavy, I would have to hear it, right? And they got claws, so I would hear it smacking on the ground. And then, the elephant, it'll scare off everything. So I just got to be in the area near the elephant because I don't think anything will walk near an elephant, for real. If an elephant just strolling around.
Chris, chimps are literally like homicidal maniacs. Like there
I
are
agree.
multiple stories of like zoo
agree.
people, like the zoo pet handlers and all that. That like the gorillas, or not the gorillas, the chimps set traps for like the new trainers. They
Yeah.
only do it to the new trainers, where it's like, oh yeah, if they put their arm in here, I'm gonna rip their arm off.
Yes.
And you're like, that's like cool. You're out of your mind. I'm sorry, y'all are much more ambitious than me. I'm going to take one animal for a total of 5 hours. Let's see what animal I'd have to stay with.
So
to get
5
me.
hours. You looking at a meal?
Wait, it's times 5 or it's times what?
You
It's
said times 2.
Times 2 for each hour. So yeah, I'm looking at a meal. Looking at
Okay.
a meal here. Looking at a meal. Yeah, wait, 100,000, 200,000, 400, 800.
Yeah. 5 times.
1.6. 1.6.
Okay.
1.6. What animal would I be stuck with for 5 hours? Oh, I'll be with a giraffe. I won. I won like
You
hell,
cool.
boy. I'm walking out of there smooth, boy. Me and the giraffes are going to stay on our side. You know what I mean? I'm going to walk out $500,000 richer. Honestly, bro, that's enough to pay off my car, buy my dream car, and buy a crib. And just be chilling. Hey, listen. Chris trying to put on the whole family. He talking like Father Abraham. I want generations after generations.
It's an hour. It's an hour. I just gotta live an hour, bro.
Chris, you have to live an hour with 6 very dangerous animals.
An hour is a long time.
It's a long
Imagine
time.
the entire time we recorded this podcast, you trying to avoid a chimpanzee.
And not just a chimpanzee, because if you run it from the chimpanzee and run into the grizzly bear, congratulations. Like that's
Right.
that could happen.
Chimps rip people face off and eat it, bro. Like
That's
dead,
very
grab you by the face and peel it off like
That's
like an
very true.
orange.
That's very true. I just, again, I'm very excited with my choice because I feel like, here's the thing, bro. Other than the parrot was literally, all right. So let me tell you all the animals that was on this little thing here. It was a panda, tiger, grizzly bear, wolf, lion, elephant, zebra, chimp, gorilla, giraffe, black mamba, parrot, and panda, tiger. So yeah, those were the animals on there, bro. I feel like, again, the parrot was the only one that, like, if I got a parrot, like, oh my god, like that's the only thing that could be better. Because like, what is a parrot gonna do to me? Like, hey, bro, you stay in your lane, I stay in. I could kill you. Like, you're the only animal. That parrot is the only animal I'm 1,000% sure. Like, hey, bro, if I got to put you in a pack, I can. I have no doubts. Yeah, none of these other animals, I couldn't put them in a pack. None of them. But a parrot, oh yeah. Well, a snake too. If I get the right snake,
Depend on the snake.
and I know it's coming at me, like it's in a mall to where I can see it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You're getting put in the pack. But anyway, fellas, we got to get into this show. We got to talk some sports, man. We enough of talking these animals and y'all getting done dirty by these animals that y'all have chosen, trying to make $1 billion out here. So y'all ready to get into this show?
Ready?
Chris, you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Alrighty, well, let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the facts over at Axe Crew. We got the master of the mix and master, Josh Guyton, in the building.
That is I.
We got the money man, the man of the plan, Chris Allen, in the building.
Right here.
And you got the little old MC, that's me, Kenton Gibbs. Now, folks, we are looking at the NFL playoffs finally underway, and we have to start with the third biggest meltdown in playoff history. The Chargers went into the locker room up 27-0. Wait, the Jaguars didn't score before half, did they?
Nope.
Okay. They went into the locker room up 27-0, and they lost the game 31-30. Who do you put the blame on most for this loss?
That's coaching. Regardless of the players not performing, making mistakes late game. As a coach, it is your responsibility to round up the soldiers and to make those coaching adjustments to, even if the game end up being close, it's at some point where it's your responsibility to stop the bleeding. And it seems as if, I don't know if it was a matter of overconfidence maybe, But it seemed as if the Chargers made no adjustments and the Jaguars just kept creeping up, cutting the lead, and the Chargers was playing the same game, even though the Jaguars clearly adjusted at halftime.
Chris, who you putting this game on, man?
Coaching staff. The coaching staff. You mean to tell me you had no tricks up your sleeve if you had a big lead, if it was a close game, or if you were losing badly, or if you was losing in a close game? So I put a lot of this on coaching staff. You know, I don't know how going football is, but you're a football expert on the show. I would assume when you watch film, you watch for a lot of signs of the defense and offense, right?
Absolutely.
So when you're up 27-zip, the morale, you got to really punish that team, right? You can't let your foot off the gas because the morale is already on the decline when you're down 27-zip, right? So basically, I blame the coaching staff because how were you not prepared for this? How did you not have your mind wrapped around how we going to chew the clock, you know? How are we going to better prepare for a second half storm if it happens, you know? So it's terrible planning, and I think if I'm the owner of that team or the GM of that team, nobody on that team other than the offensive coordinator can stay. The only reason why the offensive coordinator can stay is because he did his job by putting up 27 points.
Let me let y'all in on a fun fact about this game. The Chargers defense got 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers, okay? 5. In all of the games in NFL history where a team generated 5 or more turnovers, okay, this was one of the first losses ever. Ever. What do I attribute this to? You're damn right it's the coaches. But I'm going to point out one in particular. Joe Lombardi, come on down to the carpet. My brother in Christ, what were you doing? I need an explanation here. I need an explanation because I know, listen, I don't want to be that guy, but I got to say it. The Chargers have already fired Joe Lombardi. And of course, he's the son of Vince Lombardi. Or I'm sorry, the grandson of Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest coaches to ever live, one of the great names from the era of soft helmets and whatnot. I don't understand how your grandfather was the master of, we got a seal here and a seal here, and you run the ball in the alley, and you only attempted 8 runs with a 20-point lead.
Yeah.
I genuinely am confused by this. I very genuinely am like, is it meth? Is it crack? Is it what's going on?
Frank the Saints product, what we call it. The snowfall coming back.
I'm sorry, you're right. We tried not to say that on this show, but in moments like this, and then Staley to not go for the touchdown. I want to say when they were up, it was 20. I want to say they were up 24-zip.
Yep.
And they got real close to the goal line. They were at the 5-yard line. They're at the 5-yard line and took a field goal. To me, if you go for a touchdown there, that is a depleted, down on a morale team. When you take a field goal in that moment, you're saying like, all right, we're being gentle. We don't really want to kill you. We just kind of want to, we're all right here. The Chargers did not score again until I want to say it was only about 6 minutes left in the third quarter. And then they didn't score again for the rest of the game.
Yep.
You always go for the maximum amount of points. You at the 5-yard line, y'all main thing is y'all short passing game, and that's why y'all don't run the ball. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to use there. So the Chargers, that is just very much so on Staley. And I'm going to say this. He said that he felt like his job was never in jeopardy or danger. We could tell by how he was coaching. We could tell. Because, when you're on that performance improvement plan at work and you start showing up early and doing all this stuff,
yep,
even while you're looking for a new job, because they finna fire you anyway. But you're on your P's and Q's, like, if there's a chance that I get off this pit, I want to make it. Brother, my brother in Christ, you was not coaching like you was on the pit. You was coaching like you just got an 8-year extension. And that right there, that's why Sean Payton deserves your job. So now, with that collapse being done, what do you think are the Jags' chances in their upcoming game against the Chiefs?
I don't think they have much of a chance. The Jaguars are going to be at all-time high when it comes to confidence, but I think in football, more of the times than not, talent usually wins the games, and I don't think the Chargers had this overwhelming amount of talent to not lose to the Jaguars. It's very rare that we see. Like the Chargers loss was more about coaching than anything, but it's very rare when we see matchups of a team that have high momentum or a high morale go into a game against a powerhouse like the Chiefs and actually pick up a W. That's something that generally happens in sports that have multiple game series, but those single games in football, the best team generally wins 9 times out of 10.
Gotcha. Chris, what you got, man? Do they got a shot? You the betting man. Tell us. Do they have a chance?
Glad you said that. You know, I don't even bet like that no more. But what I will advise bettors to do, the over/under is set at 52.5. I would take the over. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think Trevor Lawrence is trying to make a case for being a top 5 quarterback in the league, and I think he has a good case, considering a drop off on a lot of quarterbacks, aka Russell Wilson. Not gonna bring him up though. We're not gonna slander him right now, but a lot of quarterbacks are taking a step back, and I think he has a shot if he does play tough in this game. I don't think Kansas City loses this game. However, I really do think that the Jaguars have a shot if they can get Patrick Mahomes out of the pocket early. They can rattle him, get him out the pocket early, and get to him with those rushers they have and those linebackers they have. I think they got a shot to rattle them a little bit. But I think Kansas City win this in a close game. They favored it by 8.5 points. I would take that spread any day of the week. I think the Chiefs win by more like 4, just because I think somebody gonna miss a field goal and then something gonna happen, fluke, something like that. But
hey, listen, I'm not a bettor, and I haven't been hot in my picks lately, and I haven't, and I own that. I accept that a little bit because I picked the Bills and Dolphins to be my blowout last week. However, with that being said, hammer this. Take the Chiefs. Take the points. I'm telling you right now. Here's the biggest thing. Young teams don't need rest. A team that's like very, very young, all of their pieces brand new, guys that are, very a rebuild. Like, let's say had the Lions made the playoffs as the number 1 seed, right? Them being rested would have made them rusty because they're too young. They didn't need it. This Chiefs team, they're right in that sweet spot to where they're not a bunch of old farts that hey, if this game is close toward the end, they not gonna be able to withstand just stamina-wise what's going on out there. But this also is not a team that's super young to where rest hurts them. They're in that sweet spot right now to where they better win some championships right now. With that being said, they are going to do some very bad things to this Jags team. And I'm going to tell you, here's the Jags' only hope. Their only hope of covering this spread is, and I know that this guy's going to be talked about a lot in another playoff game, but in this playoff game, Josh Allen is going to be the key. The Chiefs tackles have allowed either the highest or the second highest pressure rate. The only team that was near them was the Tennessee Titans. So, with that being said, Josh Allen being the prolific off-the-edge pass rusher that he is, who can do a little bit of everything, if he has a field day with Orlando Brown and company on that edge, well, the Jags could keep this thing close. But if they double him, if they find ways to isolate him and get him up out the game, my brothers in Christ, it's going to be a long night for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
It's going to be we ain't going to see a kitty get whooped on like that since Tiger King, okay? That's just what's finna happen. And I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody going to be joining Joe Exotic in jail because this is football. That's what's going to happen in this game. That's the reality that we're looking at here. Moving on to our next game, which I alluded to earlier, the Bills barely escaped beating Skylar Thompson-led Dolphins 34-31. Fellas, how was this game so close, and are you concerned about the Bills at all?
I am concerned about the Bills because going into next week they have to play Cincinnati, and Cincinnati I'm not too confident about either. Um, but one thing that Cincinnati did do well is they had a solid run defense, and they played the pass pretty well. I don't have the highest faith in Cincinnati's secondary, but I feel like they played the pass pretty well that game. And after this wild card week, Buffalo was proven to be super one-dimensional on the offensive side of the ball. And I think if Cincinnati brings back somewhat of a repeat performance, I would have a hard time trusting Buffalo to get this game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, Chris, what you thinking, man? What you thinking? Why was this game so close, and are you worried about Buffalo?
I'm gonna remind the audience. Gibbs told everybody that Miami was gonna be a blowout game. That they ain't stand a chance, right? But let me remind y'all. You know, the Bills are emotional right now. It might be winding down. But they have a guy, Josh Allen, that he is an all-world talent. But one thing he gonna do, he gonna throw you a pick here and there. And you make a couple more, I don't think you recover in this game. I got Bengals. I got the Bengals, and I got them in a close game. I think they win by 2 or 3 points. I would definitely take the spread plus 5.5. But I take the under 2. I don't think this is gonna be a high-score game like people think. I think both quarterbacks gonna make plays when they need to make plays, but I don't think that it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a lot of 3-and-outs and a lot of punts because they overanalyze and they do too many crazy scenarios or plays. And the Bengals should, like, everybody in the world that watched the Bengals enough to know that Stephon Diggs play on the left side when he burned the receiver, not necessarily burn him, but they blow the coverage and he burns through and Josh Allen throw the deep ball. They're going to be ready for that. The Bengals is not going to make that mistake like the Dolphins did several times that game. So I think this is actually going to go in the Bengals' favor.
I feel you. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm worried. I'm worried about the Bills only, but so much. This is a tough matchup for them. I think Cincinnati's a tough matchup for them, and I think Cincinnati played very poorly. Credit to the Ravens for keeping that game close, but I think Cincinnati played very poorly. With that being said, why was this game so close? The Bills were overconfident. The Bills were way too confident. The Bills just knew that they were going to come in and destroy this team playing with a third-string quarterback, and they forgot they have 2 of the fastest men, not just receivers, 2 of the fastest men in the league in Tyreek Hill.
I brought that up last week. Remember, I said you don't need a good quarterback when you have them 2 type of receivers like that.
And listen, in my mind, I'm thinking you got Tre'Davious White, you got Poyer, you got Hyde. They're going to respect these guys, and they're going to play good ball. Boy, was I wrong. They said, hey, listen, I don't know what y'all talking about with all this respect nonsense, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. All right? We could play off as much as we want. We could do whatever we want here, and we'll be A-okay. The reality is if the Dolphins had a better quarterback, I have no doubt in my mind that this game, at the end of the day, Here's why I'm not very concerned about the Bills at a high level. And let me just say this. I'm not concerned because they got up 17-0 and then kind of took their foot off the gas and the Dolphins came back and made it a game. Now, I'm not concerned about that because I don't foresee them taking their foot off the gas against the Bills. Against the Bengals. I don't see that happening because you're not scared of Skylar Thompson. You're scared of Joe Burrow. Yeah, there's a little bit of, or not even scared. You respect Joe Burrow. Right. You don't respect Skylar Thompson. You just don't. Nobody knew who Skylar Thompson was before this week. Let's be very honest and frank with that. I give either one of y'all $50 right now if you tell me what conference Skylar Thompson played in college.
The WAC.
Okay. Chris, what you got?
I would say they got to be a Southern team. Maybe the Pack. Maybe the Pack.
Both of you are wrong. Big 12. He played at Kansas State.
I was gonna say Williams too, bro.
But do y'all get my point?
Yeah.
The quarterbacks that I think of when I think of Kansas State is a quarterback that's now their offensive coordinator, the one that went to the Heisman that year, Klein, and Martinez. That's it. I'm not thinking about Skylar Thompson. Come on, what are we doing here? But again, I think the Bills are going to respect Joe Burrow and company a lot more. I don't think they're going to let their foot off the gas no matter how much they get up. And I think they take care of business here. I honestly and truly think they do.
Fun fact, that was only the second time a playoff game had a team favorite double touchdowns.
Sheesh.
And they go in and let us down. They go in and let everybody down. So the next game we got up, the 49ers beat the Seahawks 41-23. I don't really feel like there's too much to talk about there. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody saw that as a super close game this week. So not too much to talk about there. However, the 49ers next matchup brings back a classic game to when we were kids, was the last time both of these teams were relevant at the same time. One of the greatest rivalries of the 90s. And of the not of the late 80s because the Cowboys were trash. But of the 90s, we have the Cowboys and the 49ers. Dynasty's renewed. Fellas, who you got in this game?
I got San Francisco. I think Brock Purdy has proven that he can be the quarterback of the future for the 49ers. I'm sticking with that. That's my fact of the week. He's been hot, and I think it would be very Cowboys of the Cowboy for Brock Purdy to be hot. But I think the Cowboys have to stop bleeding from both ends if they want to win this game. And I don't have enough faith. I don't have enough faith in their defense to stop both. Either McCaffrey is going to get off, or Brock Purdy is going to have a big game. But I don't see them stopping both.
Ziff, you're unwell. You're unwell. You believe that Brock Purdy is the quarterback of the future, based off what? 4 or 5 games?
I feel like if you put enough pieces around him, which, with the amount of money they paying him for the next, 2 years, I think the 49ers will be all right.
Wilson.
But this is the problem. This is my problem with this. You're saying if they put the right pieces around him, I guarantee you he will never have a better supporting cast than what he has right now. He will never. If they can maintain that for the next few years, you can't.
McCaffrey's going to be. This is McCaffrey's last good year.
Not just McCaffrey. Trent Williams is not just one of the best left tackles in the game right now. He's probably top 5 to 10 left tackles of all time. Yeah. That man had brain cancer and came back and made all pro teams. Like, we're not going to see that again. That's not just something that you just run across on a slow Tuesday. I understand, but I strongly disagree.
I think the 49ers, I think Brock Purdy is good enough to be the 49ers quarterback for the rest of this playoff run and next year at least.
And you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that for sure. Chris, what you got going on, man? Talk to us.
This game, it's really tough to go against this game, man. It's really tough to pick this game. It's the closest game odds-wise it's the closest game odds-wise we got. Mm-hmm. They got the Cowboys +3, and they got the 49ers a favorite. So the world is in line with Guyton's pick. I'm going to go 49ers, but I wouldn't take the spread. I will take the money line for this reason. I think this will be an overtime game, and will be decided by a field goal. Here's the reasons why, right? I don't know where you got the quarterback of the future. He played 4 games. People said Zach Wilson was going to be that deal. He got drafted top 5 pick. So
I never agree with that.
If you agreed to that, we would vote you off the show.
We would. No reason to have that type of nonsense here. We don't do that.
No, but anyway, it comes a time where you remember the what Super Bowl was that? The Broncos Panthers 2016, 2015 Super Bowl.
That was what, 48? Was that Super Bowl 48?
I want to say yes. It was 2016, right?
Super Bowl 48 was the Broncos and the Seahawks, yeah.
Okay.
They played in back-to-back Super Bowls, didn't they? Or am I tripping?
No, the year
the
before was
Broncos versus
Broncos
the Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Broncos Panthers.
All right, got you.
Broncos Panthers, the one I'm talking about. You know, Peyton Manning was on his last leg in that Super Bowl, right? Last leg. I think the 49ers have a similar structure where you just need a quarterback decent enough to not lose you the game. They got enough pieces on that defense, or that defense makes up for a lot of mistakes on that offense, because technically you kind of want your defense on the field more to force more stops and get you in a better field position, you know, or get your offense back on the field quicker. So I know what I just said contradicted, but you'll get the logic behind it. That defense has enough weapons on it where if Purdy makes a couple mistakes, the defense gonna go get him back out there on the field. You know what I mean? So that being said, you also got a weapon that I don't think the Cowboys. Michael Parsons is one thing, but he only one side of the field. I don't think the Cowboys really got enough weapons to really contain Christian McCaffrey. You know, I really don't. I really don't. And they injured team. They missed a lot of their starting corners. Shout out Jordan Lewis. I don't even think he playing in the game. You know, and he was I think the third corner for that team.
Yeah, he was the nickel corner.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So,
he had I believe a Liz Frank injury. I believe he's out for the season. Pretty sure JD.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So that being said, it's not a lot of things that have to go right for the 49ers. You know, I'm reading the room. You know, it's not a lot of things that have to go right. Dak Prescott, I know he was hotter than fish grease against Tampa, but that's Tampa. Let's be real. They were an 8-9 team. To be honest with you, if they were in any other conference, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. You know, let's just be real. And I hate that for Brady, but he didn't play terrible, but he ain't played good. And also, Dak Prescott, he's known in big games, big moments. Them Cowboys, they come out the woodwork and surprise you. Surprise you. But that two-man rushing game, Pollard and Zeke, that is tough too, though. So, I mean, I can see both sides. Like I said, I think this game going to overtime. It might be 21-21 going into overtime. And a field goal kicker can't kick field goals. That's another topic for another day, though.
Let me explain something to y'all that I don't think a lot of people understand. The 49ers have gone to a Super Bowl before, beating Aaron Rodgers' Packers. Do y'all know how many passes Jimmy Garoppolo threw in that game?
7.
Okay, take a guess, Chris.
I'm going to say 12.
4. He threw 4 passes. He threw 4 passes, and they beat the Packers. Like, I'm not kidding at all here. This is a very real thing that has happened. And at the end of the day, I think that we all need to, like, take a second and look at this 49ers team and understand. Oh, I'm sorry. He threw 8 passes. I was incorrect. It wasn't 4. It was 8 passes. But the reality is this. If you can go ahead and win a game with a quarterback throwing 8 passes, and honestly, I would probably say that Packers team is better than this Cowboys team. If you can do that, and all of the players from that team have not like aged down and regressed, like these players are all either hitting their peak or at their peak now. I'm talking about Bosa. I'm talking about Warner. I'm talking about Greenlaw. I'm talking about adding more to one of the best offensive lines in the league. You add more talent.
Right.
One of the best backfields in the league. You add Christian McCaffrey. Deebo Samuels breaks out as an all-pro utility knife type of guy. Kittle is Kittle. Man, with all due respect, the Cowboys have one chance and one chance only. And I know I talked about an edge rusher in the last game, so I won't talk about the edge rusher in this one, but Michael Parsons will be important. However, Trayvon Diggs needs to come up with some huge plays.
What happened to him, bro?
I mean, he was an interception guy. He was he was jumping everything, going for everything in terms of interceptions, but he was also getting cooked on like the route that Drake did and Laugh Now, Cry Later. That might have cooked him last year. So I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that he had less picks this year because he was more technically sound. But again, I don't see a path for the Cowboys to win without that defense absolutely decimating Purdy and their run game. I don't know if they can do both. I think that they've taken some steps forward. I think that they have really good guys in terms of what they got up front and all that. I don't know if they have enough to stop the 49ers outright. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And the 49ers going to be at home. I might have to take the 49ers. I got to do it. I can't see another way to play.
All three of us picked the same pick.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes. Now, we talked about the Bengals upcoming game already, but let's talk about their previous game for a second. They beat the Ravens 24-17 off one of the ugliest quarterback sneaks of all time. And with that being said, if the Ravens have Lamar, do you believe they win this game?
If the Bengals come out and play that same kind of game, I think all three of us can agree that the Bengals very much underperformed in that game. I think if the Ravens have Lamar, it's not close. Because I mean, I forget the Lamar's replacement's name.
Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley. Huntley played 10 times a better game than I expected him to play going into that. So I think if Lamar is playing, we see the Ravens win by at least 2 touchdowns.
It's a saying my coach used to say when I played baseball. Big time players make big time plays. You know, bottom of the 7, the catcher gonna throw somebody out at second when y'all need that out to close the game, or the pitcher gonna throw that right nice outside fastball, make the batter fall asleep. You know, big time players make big time plays, right? Yeah. And I know that sounds crazy. He's playing baseball, a slow game, biggest man game. But when I say that, right, Lamar is a big time player, and there's a lot of times down the stretch that Huntley couldn't make that big time play. And we have Lamar in that game. I don't even think that the Bengals put up 20 points because Lamar, the way he would control the pace, because they have to contain him in the pocket, the way he would have got conversions on third downs, it just would have been night and day. And they should be ashamed of themselves because I honestly and truly believe Lamar's gone, and I honestly truly believe he could have played if he wanted to play. Honestly. But because they want to hold out, I did what they say on that video games. What they say on that? Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
You know, I'm gonna say it like this. I don't know if they win this game or not with Lamar. I believe so, but one thing that I think needs to be like talked about and examined at a high level is like the way in which you can tangibly see Lamar's impact on this offense literally the second he got hurt. Like, I have never seen anything like this in terms of one player going down and the entire offense absolutely crumbling in the way that we did, in the way that we saw when he got hurt against the Broncos. Like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it at all. He gets hurt against the Broncos. Let me break it down to you like this, okay? Here are the scores of the games leading up to the Broncos game, and then we'll read them off after the Broncos game, all right? So here's what we're looking at. The Ravens put up 20 points, 23 points, 27 points, 27 points, 13 points, 27 points, and then here's what they do without him. They put up 10 points. They put up 16 points. They put up 13 points. They put up 17 points, 16 points, 16 points, and 17 points. My point here is that what they put up as their high without Lamar, which was 17 points, is near what was the lowest of his last games coming in. And that's completely ignoring how hot he was in the beginning of the season.
Right.
When they put up 24, 38, 37, 20, 19, 20.
They started 4-0, 5-0, something like that, right?
No. They lost that first game to the Dolphins.
But
But they put up 38 points. I'm sorry, they lost their second game to the Dolphins. The second game of the season, that was to the Dolphins, but they put up 38 points. So not really much else that you could ask of a quarterback. Not really much else, like honestly and truly. Now, with that being said, I just don't think it's fair or right to blame Lamar and say that, you know, him not playing is all this team needed. However, this team does need some major changes. So if you're the Ravens, how do you play this situation? Or do you repair the relationship with Lamar? Do you trade him off? What do you do? Franchise tag him? What's the deal?
I repair the relationship with Lamar. I pay him as much as possible. I take whatever money I have left over, and I put all of that money into getting this man an offensive line, getting this man, getting him offensive weapons. Like if I'm trying to find the best way to explain it, but unless you are a football fan that's watching week after week and you know almost everything, I find it hard for a casual football fan to name anybody on that Ravens offense. I can't think of a superstar quarterback who's had a worse supporting cast, top to bottom, in my 20 plus years of watching the sport.
Mark Andrews.
That's cool.
I mean, he's one guy.
Yeah.
He's one guy. He's one guy. I mean, no. Listen, I'll say this. His first couple years, they did have just a hellified offensive line that was very good. But Ronnie Stanley's been hurt late.
But these past 2 years have been.
Yeah.
But in basketball terms, this is like '07 LeBron levels of supporting cast.
You know, and I'm gonna say this. Here's the worst part for me looking at this: the Ravens have tried, they've just failed. They drafted Hollywood Brown. They drafted Bateman, who were both good, but Bateman's always hurt. Hollywood Brown had a bad case of drops. And by the way, remember when everybody said that Hollywood Brown would be so much better without Lamar? Remember when everybody said, "Ooh, when he leaves Lamar, he's gonna go take off. He's gonna do something crazy." Ooh.
Yeah, I think people think of Lamar as a bad quarterback is like the weirdest case of anything I've ever seen.
That man had his lowest output since his rookie season. He had, I kid you not, he had more receptions. I'm sorry, the only thing he had that was not the lowest in the last 3 years was receptions. He had less yards. The lowest, he had 709 this year. The lowest was 2 years ago, 769. His longs were shorter. His long from his sophomore season was 70. From last season, 49. Touchdowns. He had 8 his second season, 6 last season, 3 this year. I just don't understand. Only 9 catches of 20 plus yards, both seasons before, 15 and 13. 1 catch of 40 plus, 3 last year, 4 the year before. Again, I understand that Colt McCoy is not a serious NFL quarterback. I understand that this Cardinals team was going through a lot, sure. But everybody said, well, he's not going to be the number one option. Team's going to be focusing on D-Hop. He's going to go off. He's going to do all the things. He had a full offseason with the Cardinals, and yet he put up worse numbers. Baby, Lamar is the secret sauce. He's the secret sauce. He was the secret to Hollywood's success. It's just the reality there. Hollywood was banged up this year, sure. What year wasn't he banged up? He's a very small guy. Again, I just think it's very funny that, again, everybody says Lamar can't throw, and yet guys had their best season with him. Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. If I'm the Ravens, I just give him what he wants. Give him what he wants. I'm not arguing it. I'm not trading him away. I'm not doing none of that craziness. Because at the end of the day, I believe that there are in any given year 4 to 5 quarterbacks that if you have them on your team, you have a shot to win it all. You have a shot. I think there are 4 to 5 in any year. And with that being said, even with that 4 to 5, that like if you have them, you have a shot, that still is dependent on other things going right. That still is dependent on some other things there. So with Lamar, with that defense the way that they're looking, with as good as Kyle Hamilton is looking, and he's on a rookie deal, you just paid Roquan Smith the highest off-ball linebacker contract ever. Give him what he wants, because you do not want this to get ugly. You do not want that to be a situation where you end up losing a generational talent because in your mind you can replace him. When remember, everybody said Tyler Huntley is basically the same as Lamar. Yeah. We learned very quickly he was not.
They got one thing in common, but
he was not. That's just what we saw out of this young man. No disrespect to Snoop. That's what they call him. No disrespect to Snoop. He is not Lamar. And that's the reality there. That's the reality. So, Chris, what you doing, man? What you doing for Lamar? Are you trading him? Are you paying him? Are you franchise tagging him? What you going to do?
I'll be honest with you. If I trade him, right, what do I have to rebuild around? Right?
Well, I don't think that in their minds they think they would go into a rebuild if they trade him.
That's what I'm saying. So they already in the wrong page right now because if without Lamar, what is that team? We just saw they're a team that can play and sustain a game, but they can't finish a game late down the stretch. So ultimately, you're going to lose a lot of games, right? So what was their record when Lamar went down? Gibbs, can you help
What was their record with Lamar?
when Lamar went down? What was their record after that?
Their record after Lamar went down. After Lamar went down against the Broncos, they were 2-4. Yeah, 2-4.
It's proven. They can sustain the game. They can beat teams that are subpar or below average, but that's not gonna get you far. So to me, being a middle of the pack team, are you okay with that? I mean, you got the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Ravens and the Browns in your division. The Browns, Deshaun Watson started looking like he was Deshaun Watson of old at the end of the year. So you got to worry about the Browns next year. You also got to worry about when Steelers Kenny Pickett start clicking. You also got to worry about the Bengals. Joe Burrow's still young. For the next 5-6 years, you got to worry about the Bengals. So, do you want to go to a rebuild? You know, I think this is the perfect time to go to rebuild. So that being said, I'm trading Lamar for the house. You giving me 2 picks in the first round. You also giving me a lot of draft capital, and you giving me some young receivers or corners to help me down the stretch.
Where you trading them to?
Honestly, this might sound wild, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. A team that would actually benefit from Lamar and you trade and get some picks. Hey, Jalen Waddle, 2 first-round picks. You keep Tyreek, you can have Lamar.
Do the Dolphins have first round picks? Did they? I thought they gave away a first round pick for Tyreek. Let's see what Tyreek Hill was traded for.
If they got a first-round pick, I think that would be enough. You give me a first-round Waddle, I'll trade you Lamar. Because you guarantee him that money.
Miami gave away a first rounder, a second rounder, and 2 fourths and a 6. So
okay, so they don't got nothing. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they don't got the first round pick to give away.
Right.
That being said, then I would probably do something like man, that's a tough one, man. They'll put me on the spot with that one. That's a tough one.
I mean, it's because, and this is the interesting thing. This is why, to me, I don't see how you trade him, because the amount that he would demand. Like,
that's why I said Waddle
right.
and him and a first. Hit Waddle and him and a first and probably a fourth. I think that is like a good haul back for Lamar. You know, I think that's a good haul back.
If you look at what some of the other players who were traded, look at what Russell Wilson was traded for, right?
That's different.
And hold on. Even before we knew, or even before we saw what we saw the Russ this year, who would you say was more valuable to their team? Like, hey, without him, their team does not go. In terms of like just pure, you take this player off this team, they're going to be worse. Russell to the Seahawks, Lamar to the Ravens. And I know that we are kind of tainted because we saw the Seahawks made it. But I want you to try your best to go back a year in your mind. Which team do you think, if they lose that guy, they're going to be worse? I would say the Ravens, and it's not close.
I would agree.
I would say that even with the Legion of Boom retiring and all that good stuff, I'm still looking at the Seahawks and saying, you know what? They have something there. They have something. Remember, a year ago, they just lost Hollywood Brown, and they were just dangling in the wind with Procise and Duvernay being their 2 and 3 receivers.
Yeah.
Is that really? I mean, you know, is that what you want as a franchise? Like,
not at all.
That's the reality, though. That's the reality of what you're looking at in terms of what you have with Lamar. So to me, the trade haul that you would need to get for him back would need to be a Russell Wilson type beat, and that is crazy. You would need to give me a Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson type package that includes multiple firsts. And now you got to ask yourself, which team has multiple firsts to give?
True.
How many teams got that right now?
I don't even think that the Lions.
That's the only thing that I could. That's the only team I could think of.
Because the Lions
they traded them.
Wait. They used 2 picks last
They
year.
got the Rams pick, but they don't have their own pick.
They got the. Oh, they don't have their own first no more. Ooh,
I thought they did. Oh no, is it the Vikings pick that they have?
Yeah, it's the Vikings pick they have. They don't have their own pick.
Oh well, I mean that's not that far away from their pick. Basically the same pick. I mean, shout out to the Vikings. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Vikings get put out. But anyway, yeah. So I think that the Ravens have a very simple equation on their hands. You pay Lamar, get him what he wants, and shut up about it. Chris, your Giants did it. I'm gonna give you your time to gloat. Chris was right. The Giants put the Vikings out of the playoffs. Since we just talked about them, fresh
Vick,
on my
man.
mind.
Danny Vick, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Danny Vick.
Danny Vick.
That's blasphemous, man.
When I
Blasphemous
told
as
y'all
hell.
these Giants was gonna be random and it gonna be a great team this year, everybody looked at me and asked me, did I know Franklin Saint and did I buy from him? Everybody. I
Oh,
went to
you was
work
for show
and said,
copying. You was for show copying.
maybe I just was born in 2050 and I just came back. How about that?
Okay, Kang the Conqueror. I got you.
All right, but let me talk my stuff about these Giants. Right? You look at the way the Giants played; they played a complete game, start to finish. Who would disagree with that?
I wouldn't.
It wasn't one point in that game where they lost control, where they also decided that we're gonna take our foot off the gas. Saquon was still aggressive. Everything clicked for them on a high level. Everything. And to be honest with you, the scoreboard make it look close, but it wasn't really close.
It
wasn't really
It
close.
wasn't.
It wasn't really close. It wasn't really close. Like the Vikings, they put their foot down, then the big bro came and smacked them upside the head. Like, don't put your foot down like that. Like, it wasn't close. Like when I said that the Giants was getting everything they want, and Danny getting out that pocket and converting on third downs on 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 7s. Come on now, come on, man. He is who people think Derek Carr is. I keep saying it. Derek Carr got all the numbers in the world, but he don't win football games, man. He don't win football games.
Stop being blasphemous. Stop being blasphemous.
So you saying
stop.
Derek Carr's a good quarterback?
Derek Carr is better than Danny Dimes. I know that much.
Danny Vick is his name now, bro. Danny Vick. Danny Vick.
What is that? What did that song say in the 90s? I'm not aware of too many things, but I know what I know if you know what I mean. And I know for a fact. That Daniel Jones is not him. He's not him, bro. It just so I'm gonna just say this. Kirk Cousins in prime time, that boy, he shrinks. He shrivels like a sponge out of water. He all of a sudden becomes exponentially smaller than what you thought he was going to be. I'm sorry. That's what Kirk Cousins has shown us consistently. If that man ain't playing at noon, he is going to act a fool and embarrass you. That's what he's going to do every time. Every time. It's not a new thing for him. So why we're playing like, oh, the Giants did a number on him. He did a number on himself. 4th and 8. 4th and 8 for the game. This man threw the ball 6 yards short of the first down sticks to a tight end. Like, what are we doing? Come on, man. Come on, dog. I'll give you this, Chris. You were right. I'll give you your props. I'm not the type of guy that cannot admit when I'm wrong. You were right. For sure. Hey, quick question. Who is their leading receiver this weekend?
86. I can't think of his name.
What's his name? Anybody know his name?
I mean, no. Their receiver core is mid. It's a pack of mids. But
here's my point in saying that, Chris. Here's my only point in saying that. This team and what we have seen out of them, right? Their leading receiver was Isaiah Hodgins, who was claimed off of the Bills practice squad earlier this year. I say that to say this. None of this makes sense. None of it.
I told you that, though, when I said I said every 4-5 years, the Giants randomly string a season together. Look at the history.
Let me ask you this. Because Tubbs is on the Giants he on the Giants train heavy. He's sipping the Giant Kool-Aid. He's sipping the Big Blue Kool-Aid. He has the Giants beating the Eagles. Will you ride with him on that? Will you ride with Dante Tubbs on that? You from the future. Come on, tell us.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm in this pick league with my old heads, my dad friends. I picked the Giants on my slip and submitted it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I picked the Giants.
No way.
I picked the Giants.
No way.
Anybody got that meme? Anybody got that meme of the Chihuahua screaming with his arms up? Because that's what I need to do right now. Y'all are listen. I
Man,
gave you your
he wanted a hot take so we could get a tick for the TikTok.
Let me
It
explain
just happened to work out.
Let me explain something to you.
honest.
This hot take here was sponsored by a heated spoon and a syringe. 'Cause there's no way. There is no way. These Eagles. Let me just let you in on a fun secret. Do you know that one of the players on the Eagles roster has the nickname the Giant Killer? Boston Scott is referred to as the Giant Killer because he scored like 14 touchdowns in his career. A majority of them have come against the Giants. Jalen Hurts, MVP candidate. Defense like we haven't seen in some time. And you got them losing to the Giants? Listen, I'm sorry to tell you.
It's gonna be close. Giants
I think it'll be close. I think they'll cover. I do think that. What favorite are the Eagles right now?
Oh, give me a sec. The Eagles are -7.5.
I think they'll cover that. I think it'll be exactly a 7-point game. I think they'll cover. I don't see a world where Isaiah Hodgins-led receiving cores beat a number 1 seed on the road in the city where they booed Santa. Not happening.
What I'm gonna say is, everybody told me I was on drugs at work when I said the Giants gonna go into Minnesota and beat Minnesota. That's all I'm gonna say.
But here's the thing: on this pod, did we not also agree with you? Did we not agree
We all
that
took
the
the
Giants
Giants
had a good chance against the Vikings? We are not delusional Giants haters. We are not, because you're in Massachusetts right now. The people of Massachusetts, if you said the Giants versus the Pee Wee football team, just because of what they did to Brady, they're going to say the Pee Wee football team is going to cover. That's what they're going to say.
But you know what's weird about Massachusetts sports fans? This is off topic. Brady can't do nothing wrong to them. Like, they are literally so obsessed with Brady. They are really slandering his ex-wife all through Boston, like badly.
And guess what?
I mean, he got them 6 rings.
She richer than him, though. Like, at the end of the day, you can slander all you want. You can have all the rings you want. You can have more rings than the Mandarin. And guess what?
I agree.
She got the bread.
But that's how much Tom Brady means to the people out here. That's a little weird, right?
Very much so.
I mean, he got them 6 rings. How you think they talk about Mike in Chicago?
Bro,
How you think they talk about Kobe in L.A.?
I don't care about that, bro. You know how much I used to love LeBron. You know how much I used to love LeBron, bro.
Hey, honestly, if somebody got Detroit 6 rings, I might be the same way. I might be saying, hey, I ain't even gonna
That's what I'm saying.
K, if you hearing this, Victor Wembanyama, if you hearing this, you get 6 rings, bro. The train will not stop. I promise you, bro. I promise you. You can have them Miles Bridges allegations, and I'm gonna just be like, let's hear all the details first. Let's let this thing play out for real. I'm talking about the trapping allegations, not the beating up women. We do not rock with that here. But anyway, at the 6 rings, I mean, I'm just saying.
6 rings ain't bad.
It's not bad. Not bad at all. In my entire lifetime, I've seen Detroit win, what, 4? The Red Wings got to the
I feel like the
Pistons.
Red Wings won more than that in our lifetime.
Did they?
I want to say
won.
yes.
No, they got 3. They got 3 because when we were babies, they won 1.
Okay.
When we were babies in the 90s, they won 1, I feel like. But yeah, so in
They
our
won,
lifetime.
they won in 97, 98, 02, 08.
Oh, so they got 4.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have seen 6. We've seen 6. And honestly,
I mean,
honestly-
honestly, think about how they talk about Steve Eiserman. I know we ain't the biggest hockey fans, but like
Steve Watt, trust the Yeiser plan, bro. Hey, honestly, in all fairness,
Stevie
though,
White is like Detroit's Tom Brady.
in all fairness, though, Stevie Watt deserves it because even coming in as a GM, he drafted the Rookie of the Year, bro. What are we doing here?
Right.
This man is amazing. We love you, Steve. Don't ever leave the city. But anyway, yeah. Long story short, I mean, I'm just saying. All right, so fellas, we gotta get out of here pretty quick soon. But before we do, we've run down pretty much every playoff game so far. But We still got one left to go. In terms of what we see happening next. In terms of, so everybody has Kansas City winning. Chris has Cincy winning. And me and Josh got Buffalo, right?
Yep.
Okay. And Chris has the Giants beating Philly. Do I have that right? Just covering, or do you got them winning outright, Chris? Talk to me.
I got them. I'll take the money line. I ain't gonna lie.
So you got the Giants winning outright.
That plus 325, I will take it.
Hoo-wee. All righty. And we all
right.
And I have San Francisco beating Dallas. And y'all got what now?
I got San Francisco.
Okay.
We all got San Francisco.
All right, we all got San Francisco. So in terms of the Super Bowl predictions, we're still looking good. But I just want to let y'all know, if somebody's picks go out wrong, if them Giants get slaughtered, you better believe it, Chris. I'm gonna be insufferable come next week. But if them Giants win, I might not show up for the pod next week. I might have to get low. I might have to go in the witness protection program because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Anywho, we know y'all tired of us talking animals and malls and all this NFL playoff stuff. But come on back next week and the week after that and the week after that. Peace and love, y'all.